Here we go. Grandpa Danny's in the house doing his thing, being the tapper in chief. It's fantastic. Why is my camera so reddish? That is a good question. Let's see if I can fix that. I don't know if it'll allow me to do this while I'm doing it. Let's see. Let's find out. Saturation. Balance. Let's try saturation. Let's bring that down a little bit. Is that better? Still not great. I'll work on it. All right. Sorry, I'm having some more technical issues today. Somehow my camera decided to change what it looked like. I didn't know that was a thing. Let's see. Does that help? Yeah, maybe that'll help. All right, that's a little bit better. Not quite as reddish as it was before. Cynthia, you're saying sound a bit off. Was it because I didn't have the mic in front of me? Now that I have the mic in front of me, is it better? Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. So, hello, Cynthia. Hello, Danny. Hello, Johnny. Jim. User 6870. James. What's up, Jim Crow? Oh, that's not a good username, but maybe that's your real name. Wallace Brothers. Hello, welcome one and all. We are tapping, tapping, tapping. In a perfect world, I'd get about 50,000 likes per hour. But, no pressure. Oh, Danny is eating up all the heart puffs. Excellent, Danny. Thank you so much. All right, so let's do the do. To the few folks that are in here so far, let's start by sharing out the live. Hold your finger in the middle of the screen gently. Your friends list will pop up, and any list that you've created in the messaging portion, and you can send an invitation to about 50 of those people and groups. Go for it. Get a bunch of people up here. All right. And then after you do that, check out the heart me. Right. That's that orange heart over my head next to my name. If for some reason you don't see that, that's okay. You can still do it. You can go to the bottom row where the gifts are, and you can just click on the gift icon, and you might have to scroll, but you will find heart me, 2 words, heart me. And Beth is sharing out the live. Thank you, Beth. And once you do that, you get into the fan club. It costs you 1 TikTok coin, which is basically a penny, might be slightly less than a penny. And you get points. You get to go up in the rankings. All that good stuff. And then when you're finished with that, so it's the heart me, it's the so sharing heart me in any order that you like, and then it's about tapping on that screen incessantly. Just tap, 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 tap. Okay. So, hopefully now that I pulled the mic in front of me that everybody hears me okay. And, it's a darndest thing about microphones. They work best when you speak into them. All right, so let's get the party started. I'll bring Danny up. And whoever else wants to come up, feel free to request up. And we'll start having our conversation for the evening. Hey, Danny, what's going on?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. I I went on the other platform and sneak peeked at your topic for tonight. So I
Oh,
left a comment over there in the
nice.
comment section over there, but
Good
I
stuff.
wasn't expecting it. I just thought I said, "Oh, that's a great topic for tonight."
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you. Yeah, yeah, that they did this weird thing because I was testing some new mic settings late last night, early this morning, technically, and I think I ran about 9 or 10 tests. And what I was testing is how the sound would come out on streaming, right? And uh, when I went to set up the live, right, I have to go into this software called OBS, and I have to set up the stream. And I got a message saying that I've created too many thumbnails for the day, and I had to verify my identity to do it. So I might have to wait 24 hours to put on my usual thumbnail.
I hear you.
I know that's a thing, and I don't mind it. Like, I know people made a big deal out of the age verification on the U-shaped tube, but it's very common on these platforms that they want to know how old you are. You know,
Right.
so it's not like I had to give them any extra information. They asked me to film myself for 6 seconds on the phone. They told me to turn my head right, to turn my head left. So I did it. No big deal. So they're going to be like, oh, he's an old dude. We'll let him do what he needs to do. But that's behind the scenes stuff. Anyway, how's the mic sound?
It sounds really good.
Good.
I think you're fine. At the start there, I was a little worried that you didn't have your mic right there in front of you.
Yeah.
So, but now it sounds perfection. You're good.
Excellent. Traffic man, what's going on, brother?
What is up? I'm a lot more awake and feeling a lot better tonight.
Oh, good. I'm glad you could join us. I didn't know you were not feeling good yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things.
Uh, Probably
Well,
got into the ouzo.
so
No, no Uzo for me.
is it
Okay,
is it a private thing, or do you want to share what it was?
Oh no, I just I don't have a gallbladder anymore. There's complications because of that. I
Gotcha.
didn't, yeah. So that was it. So
All right. So you're dealing with real life stuff.
yes.
That happens. We all have to do that. I didn't feel like like coming up tonight. But again, every time I feel like that, I fight against it because I don't want to succumb to that feeling. Because I basically always prefer to do nothing, and that's why I'm in the state that I'm in terms of like my life. Because I fought hard to do nothing most of my life, and somehow that didn't make me a millionaire.
Isn't that funny how
but
that
you
works?
Yeah,
but you did achieve doing nothing, so it wasn't a complete loss.
yeah, yeah. But like Billy Joel sings, you pay for your satisfaction somewhere along the line.
That's
So
right.
and the costs for my laziness was that I'm 61 and I can never retire, and I have no idea what I'm going to do to make money. So it is what it is. I mean, I can't say I regret my decisions. I can say that um, I didn't make all the smartest decisions that I could have made, but that's okay.
You and me both, brother. You
Yeah,
Yep,
and me
same.
both.
Traffic man, thanks for sharing out the live. I appreciate it. Oh, and I got to
Hmm.
set a new live goal. Uh,
Yeah,
let's see. What are we
the
going to go
puffs
for?
went away quickly.
Yes, you made
Yeah.
sure of that. So let's see. Let's look at some other stuff. What could I do? I'll do roses. I'll be common and do roses. There we go. Do
Yeah, hold
a
off on the
hundred.
chili peppers.
I'm
I
gonna
get
wait.
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
excited.
wait till there's more people here to share
Yeah,
my love of chili peppers.
there you go.
Thank you, Ames, for sharing the live. I appreciate it. All right, so now that the gang's all here, so to speak, and anybody else that wants to come up, If you see request boxes on the screen, tap one of them. If you don't see that, then on the bottom row next to the comment box, there is a red and blue icon that looks like two people overlapping, and you can click on that and request up. But for everybody else, let me officially start the show. This is Yoddah Live. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025. I am Yoddah, spelled Yoddah, because film studios are litigious. And tonight, I thought about, and this was somewhat inspired by the passing of Robert Redford. And the film that I identify most with him, which is Jeremiah Johnson. And in that film, he was basically a frontiers guy from the middle 1800s, and he decided that he wanted to live a life of solitude in the wilderness. And that decision had a lot of repercussions to it, both positive and negative, and he had to overcome a lot in order to live the way he wanted to live. And so I wondered, like, what stories do you have of overcoming? Whether it's overcoming external things, like something that happened in your life, from whether it was a family thing, a life situation, a work thing, or something internal, like you're having to overcome your belief systems or bad habits or health issues. It's one of those topics that is far-reaching. But let's start with you, Danny. What comes to mind when you think about what you had to overcome to get where you are today?
Uh, Probably my first wife.
And what
That
did
was
that look
probably,
like?
oh, at the start it was pretty good. I like most marriages and stuff, but as I got older and my different jobs that I had in the army, it started to tear us apart, and we were not a unit as we was when we first got married, and it was that was because I sacrificed as much as I think she did, but she thought that she wasn't getting her due, you know,
Hmm.
and she and I went through a real nasty divorce. I mean, it took 3 years for us to get divorced, and she went through five attorneys, and I had one the whole time.
So how'd
So
you
it was,
overcome that situation?
uh, I was stupid, married again real quick, and that didn't last but a couple of years. So my how I overcome all this is I moved back to Colorado. I actually moved and relocated back to my hometown, which you can't go home. If anybody thinks you can go home, you can't, especially when your parents are gone and they're in the cemetery and they're, everybody. And it's not the same. It wasn't. It's not. It wasn't not even close. But I think just a change. I had to have a change. And if I hadn't gone back to Colorado, I would have never met Carol.
Yeah.
And you know the love story of me and Carol.
Yes,
You
I
know
do.
how we met, and so I think my relocation was and detachment from my first marriage of 23 years. I had to move on. That's how I overcame it.
So yeah, it sounded like sort of the way I hear what you're saying is that the way you overcame the situations in your life is that you were open to starting over in a new place.
Correct.
Yeah, that can be a great strategy. In the anonymous rooms where I was for 6 years, they have a saying that geographicals don't work, meaning moving somewhere doesn't work because wherever you go, there you are. But
Right.
even though I get the theory behind that, because of course, it's not necessarily the place that was an issue for you. I think it's symbolic. Like you sort of reset yourself by moving, because I did that too. At the near the end of 2014, I was very uncomfortable being in Florida, and I could have stayed. I could have stayed and been fine, but I thought, you know what? The people I love are in the Northeast, so I'm going to come back to that. And it felt like a really good reset for me. And now I've been here. October 1st will be 11 years, and that actually ties a record for longest I've ever lived in one place. So that's
The
pretty
hardest
exciting.
part, yes, and the hardest part for me was of this last move that I made to Colorado when I left here the first time was that my only person I had in Colorado was my brother. He was the only one that was there. But my kids were back here in Washington, and that was tough. Even though they did come out and see me every once in a while, we talked on the phone, stuff like that. That was the toughest thing that I ever. I felt that loss deeply
Right,
of not having them around, not seeing them. But I knew that if I didn't do this for myself, I wasn't going to be much good for them if I just stayed there
right,
and stay in that uncomfortable environment at that time because it wasn't comfortable. It got to the point where I said, "That's it. It's time for me to move on." And then where did I end up again? I'm back in Washington because I always liked this place. I always liked the weather, but it's been since 2000 no 1993 since Rosemary and I divorced. So I have many years of detachment now that doesn't bother me to be here down the road from my old house and her because I don't go by that much and she don't come see me. So we're good. I don't.
excellent,
So anyway, I didn't
excellent.
mean to drag mine
No,
up.
no, no. That's a great example. That's exactly what I was asking for. Before we get to traffic, man. Hello, Jessica. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you, Yoda?
Good, good. I'm unusually sweaty. It's kind of humid here, and I was fine, and then I scrambled to get on, and now I'm damp. But anyway, traffic man, give me a story or an example of something that you had to overcome to get where you are today.
Societal anxiety.
Mm-hmm. What that look like?
Just me existing in society.
Be more
Um,
specific. Come on.
so
What did you feel in certain situations?
I felt that everybody was constantly judging me.
Gotcha.
And I attribute that to uh, my parents constantly giving me the old, oh, you need to do this because what are other people going to think of you? You need to dress better because what are other people going to think? That whole thing for my entire childhood.
So they
And
programmed you to be self conscious.
oh, extremely. Like to the nth degree, absolutely. And somewhere in my early 30s, the realization came that nobody really gives a fuck, you know,
Yeah.
to a certain degree. And it really dawned on me one day at work when I came in. I was, like I didn't sleep very well the night before, and this sounds kind of silly, but I didn't sleep very well the night before. I came into work. I was still like just absolutely filthy from the day before, kind of a thing, and like nobody gave a shit.
Right.
And I think it was that was like a turning point for me, and I was like, oh, nobody really gives a shit. and, and
Yeah,
and
I mean,
listen,
it seems
th-
simple, but those can be revelations.
yeah, absolutely, and it really changed um, my ability to be more. open to social gatherings, to be able to talk publicly, to, like this right here. You just see this icon here with me speaking. Like, this would not be able if it wasn't for that day where I was like, nah, dude, go out there and live life. Screw this
Yeah.
shit. Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent. Tanya, thank you for the heart me and the roses. Appreciate it. Yeah, no one ever believes me when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I was extremely shy as a child. Even with my family, I just had crippling shyness. And slowly but surely I overcame that. But so once you had the revelation of like, no one's really paying attention, and even if they are, let them judge me, whatever. Like, what did you feel, and how what changes did you make in your behavior?
um, I felt relief. Like there was a weight lifted off my shoulders. Because like my social anxiety had exceeded to the point where I felt like my stomach was sick. Like I would get, my anxiety would be so severe that I would literally look for the closest trash can in the room if I was in a closed room setting,
Mm,
to make sure that if I had to vomit, I would know where like that's how bad it got.
right.
And ever since that eureka moment, man, I don't think about that shit anymore. Like it's just it's a weight that has been lifted from my shoulders. It really has.
Yeah. There's a oh man, there's a word in India for that where it describes a life change in a moment, and it's not coming to me right now. I'll have to look it up. It's some kind of Sanskrit word. Um,
Gotcha.
Jessica, we're talking about what you had to overcome in your life, whether external or internal, in order to get where you are today. So, what do you got?
Um, well, I feel like I've overcome many things. I think the biggest one would be leaving my husband and the fear involved in that. Um, yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest one. I mean, there's tons of little ones. Like I've overcome all of my vices. I don't drink anymore. I don't consume caffeine. I'm now five. I'm on day 5 now of zero nicotine as
Nice.
well. So little vices like that. But I think the biggest one was overcoming my life situation and leaving my husband. Yeah, there's
So,
a lot of
how did you go about doing that? If it's possible to share that information.
yeah, yeah, of course. It was several months worth of planning. Um, because I was not allowed to have a bank account. I was not allowed to have a job. I was not allowed to have any access to money or funds of any sort. I wasn't even allowed to handle money to go to the store. If anything needed to be bought, I had to create a list and give to him for him to go buy it. So the I had to start collecting change out of his pockets when I would do his laundry and secreting that away. And so when I
Wow.
left, it took several months, but when I left, that was what I left with was my car, which had already been paid off for several years, and the money that I found doing laundry in his pockets. And then just a couple of outfits for myself and my son, because my son was 7 months old whenever I left. Um, but I had to create a plan.
Yeah.
At this point, I had been alienated from all of my family and friends. And so I was able to, one day while he was at work, walk across the street and ask a neighbor to use their phone. And I was able to call my mom and get back in contact with my mom so that I would have a place to go to. And so just several months of planning. and then sticking to it and overcoming the fear of, no, I have to stay because I don't have anything without him.
Right.
And it was the fear of knowing that I know I will no longer have anything and I will have to start over completely from scratch with
Right.
nothing to my name.
Yeah.
And that was scary,
Of course.
especially with a new baby.
Well, I have two thoughts about what you shared. Number one, I wish people would stop callously and carelessly telling women just leave.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
literally there are two very dangerous things that a woman can do when she's connected to an abusive man. One is attempt to leave and the other is get pregnant. That is
Hmm.
statistically when women are going to be harmed and perished from the earth.
Yeah.
So do better, folks. If a woman is telling you about her troubles, don't callously say just leave. That's absurd. The second thing I thought of with regard to your planning is that you are essentially Andy Dufresne from Shawshank Redemption.
Well, thank you.
Because that's what
Yeah,
he did
it
too, right? It
does.
was a long term plan, and he
Mhm.
executed it slowly and patiently, and had to hide his plan from everyone around him, and it's so horrifying that that's what some people have to do, especially like when men do that to women. I hate those men because my father was one of those men, and the fact that you summoned the strength to do it and you were intelligent enough to do it and of course saved your child from him, kudos to
Mhm.
you.
Thank you. That was my biggest motivator for leaving was my child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what motivated me to change my life too, was my son. So I definitely can connect to that. Yeah, so for me,
It,
aside
it,
from my shyness, I'm sorry, go ahead, traffic man.
oh no, I was going to tell Jessica, like I said down in the comments, that one of the things that you mentioned about one of the vices, like seriously, like if you're getting to that point and you need somebody to be like, nah, don't do it, message me. I will absolutely support you.
Oh, thank
The
you.
no use of nicotine.
Thank you. It's really hard. I'm on day 5. I started smoking when I was 14.
Mm,
I'm 33 now.
yeah,
And so I had quit smoking cigarettes and I was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna, vape for like a week to help me stop smoking cigarettes." And then, 3 years later was still vaping. And
yeah,
then 5 days ago I was just like, "You know what? I'm just not gonna do it anymore." And I put it down and I haven't picked it back up since. But
excellent.
man, it's nicotine withdrawals are a bitch.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are.
So, I mentioned earlier that I was part of one of the anonymous groups, and there's a guy that I met in that group on Long Island, and he was addicted to H. That's what he had quit when he got clean. And eventually he quit coffee, and he was drinking 2 pots of coffee a day. Okay. Not two
Oof,
cups, 2 pots of
oof.
coffee. And he said that his coffee withdrawal was worse than his withdrawal from the H because he did both of them
I was
cold
just gonna
turkey.
say, my heart is currently fluttering hearing the words 2 pots of coffee.
Two
Like, oh
pots, yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Like I,
Well,
I had I had quit drinking coffee for 9 years, but then after my brain tumor surgery, I started reading about brain health, and they said that caffeine is actually good for your brain. And so when I used to drink coffee, it was like a diabetes concoction. It was all the sugar, all the cream, and all
Hmm.
that stuff. But then I started drinking it black, and that's basically how I drink it now. And I have a coffee recipe that is very, very healthy. It involves turmeric and cacao and all this good stuff, ginger, and maple syrup. And it is absolutely delicious. But it
Ooh,
doesn't have
sounds
any bad
delicious.
that
stuff in
does
it.
sound really good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The only time I get caffeine now is the minute amount that's in whatever tea I may be having because I do enjoy, man, I love a cup of tea,
Yeah,
but I quit drinking coffee, and I think, and I may be wrong on this, but I feel like I remember reading somewhere that caffeine is actually one of the most addictive substances in the world
yeah,
for the human body.
yeah.
So, yeah.
And it is also one of the most
Yes, that is
abundant
correct.
plants on Earth. So it's sort of like nature says, and it was actually coffee was discovered by a farmer who noticed that his goats became hyperactive after they ate coffee beans.
Huh.
Yep.
And it was implemented in businesses because bosses wanted more productivity after lunch. Because people would come back from lunch with the itis and just be like, oh, I'm full, and didn't want to do anything.
Yep.
And so bosses implemented coffee breaks for that reason.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's why
So
I drink
Jessica,
caffeine. I like that it wakes me up because it does increase blood flow to the brain and all that other stuff, and so it wakes me up. But I don't drink it all day. I have it like, if I'm going to drink it, it's usually once in the morning, and that's it. And I drink the equivalent of 2 cups, and then I'm done for the day.
That's why most migraine or headache relief medication has amounts of caffeine in it because people think that it's headaches or migraines are caused by a rush of blood to the brain. It's actually a constriction of the blood vessels,
Yeah,
and caffeine dilates the blood vessels and helps increase blood flow to the brain. That's why most of them have caffeine in them.
yeah, 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 and that's why it just kind of knocks off the morning fog. Um, for me anyway. But it's look anything can become addictive. Washing hands can be addictive. Shopping can be addictive. Gambling, physical pleasure. It can all be addictive, and like. It doesn't have to be a substance that chemically alters you. Like washing your hands is not a substance. Shopping is not a substance. It's just, if you have a habitual mind, or especially an addictive mind, you can become addicted to almost anything. So good on you. But yeah, yeah, I've been clean and sober now 38 years, and it's one of the very few decisions that I ever made that I stuck with. That and being a vegetarian, those two things happened in the same year, 1987. Other than that, I've been all over the place. But
I wanted
my
to give Jessica a little
oh,
encouragement.
go ahead, please.
She said it's been 5 days since she quit, Jessica.
Yes, sir.
Next month it'll be 40 years from me.
Oh, that's
It can
amazing.
happen. It can happen, you know. Unfortunately, it was cancer that got my attention, but uh, it is possible, and I'm proud of you. Keep it up. You're going to do fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa Danny. I appreciate that.
Soaring above tyranny said he drinks 10 cups. I think I'm sorry, soaring. You're either he or she. I'm not even sure, but they drink 10 cups of coffee daily. All right. Well,
Oof.
good luck with all that.
Yeah, I do
how
one.
how often do
One.
they have to use the train? Jeez.
That's how my mother is.
Yeah.
My mother will make a pot of coffee in the morning. Um, she usually gets up like between 7 and 8. By 10 o'clock, she's on her second pot, and she just drinks mostly coffee
Oh,
all day long. She'll go
Yeah,
through several
Mhm.
pots of coffee throughout the day. Like that's a little excessive, but that's how she operates, I guess.
yeah. You know, we all have our thing. You know.
mhm.
Yeah, I do 1 cup a day. That's it.
I just
Yeah.
have my tea. I drink like 2 cups a day. I drink a cup of Earl Grey in the morning, and then I'll have a cup of decaf herbal in the evening. And that's it.
Mm.
Nice. I have a green tea that I drink from time to time. Sometimes late at
When
night, I just love either green tea or a detox tea. I love those.
when Jessica mentioned Earl Grey, Patrick Stewart was in my head saying, "Computer." Earl Grey, hot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the best tea. It's so
Sorry.
good.
That's
It
Engage.
is really good. It is really good.
Isn't that like
Yes,
the most
engage.
popular tea in England or something?
It is. The second most being English breakfast blend, but Earl Grey is because it's a black tea, but it's infused with bergamot, and
Mm,
so it
right.
just has it's this really nice light citrusy aroma and slight flavor to it, and it's amazing.
nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I actually posted my coffee recipe a while back. Because it is like it is pretty amazing. Let's see. So it's I make a very strong coffee. It's sort of like double the strength that it's supposed to be. So I take 2 cups of water and 4 tablespoons of ground coffee. I make that. Then I put the coffee in a blender and put in 2 cups of cacao, which is very healthy for you. Um, um, the what did I say it was? Oh God,
Turmeric.
suddenly it went. Thank you. I don't know why that went out of my head. Turmeric, which is very good as an anti-inflammatory. Ginger is very healthy for you. It sort of helps aerate your muscles, and um, and then just I think about what do I put in there? I think it's like 2 ounces, so six tablespoons of organic maple syrup. Put that in a blender, and it is just delightful. Wakes me up. It's
The
healthy. It tastes delicious. It's good stuff.
maple syrup addition to that sounds fantastic. And
Yeah,
I guess the nice thing is you don't have to. That's your sugar.
yeah.
That's your
It's the
sweetener, right?
lowest glycemic index sweetener. So for someone like me
I'm
that's on the cusp of type 2, I have to make sure that I don't add sugar to my diet.
Yes.
I am so glad you brought up maple syrup because I you sent me that text about that syrup and I plumb forgot about it, so I'm going to order that syrup the first of the month.
Nice. Yeah, it's I like the company. It's a private company in Vermont, and they're certified organic, so I'm
Right.
happy with that.
I'm
And
sure
I've tried
glad you
both. I've
came
had
up.
the grade A, the grade B. They all taste good.
I plumb forgot about that text you sent me about the syrup, and I am so glad you mentioned
Yeah,
syrup tonight.
and I save money because if I bought 4 quarts at the store like I normally would, as opposed to buying the gallon from these people, I spend $12 more. So even with all whatever tax and I think it's free shipping technically, but whatever after all is said and done, I save $12. So I'm a happy camper. All right. So folks, we're at 11,000 likes with 41 minutes in. Thank you very much. Keep it going. Keep tapping. Keep sharing. If you haven't done the heart me, do the daily heart me. Let's keep the party rolling along. So my story of overcoming, I think it's sort of a combination of external and internal. As I mentioned, I had shyness earlier, and really the thing that I had to overcome the most internally was just this overwhelming laziness. It's what has held me back my whole life. I don't know why. My father had a work ethic, my mother had a work ethic, but for some reason it skipped me. I never wanted to do anything. Um, and so, obviously when it comes to developing your career and building your nest egg and all that good shit, I missed out on that stuff. Because I just never wanted to do anything. I've taken huge swaths of time off whenever I can. Like when I came into money last year because of my mother's estate, um, I could have easily just found another job and kept working and kept this money in the bank, but that's not my style. I was just like, oh, I get to stop working. This is good. So that's what I did. I knew it was going to be temporary, but I still was happy to do it. Um, the other thing, really, I think the biggest thing that I had to overcome was the brain surgery. That was the first 2 weeks after that surgery were just brutal. I was rushed to the hospital 4 times or 3 times in that 2 weeks. It's funny, I had, for the first 47 years of my life, I had never been in an ambulance. I had never been in the hospital, except when I was one and I broke my femur somehow, which I don't even remember. But aside from that, I had never been in a hospital. And now suddenly I was rushed to the hospital, once when they told me I had a tumor, and then after I came out, three more times. But I stuck with it, and I clawed my way back to health. And unfortunately, the medication that I'm on makes it hard to lose weight. The medication I'm on does a lot of shit. It robs you of vitamin D. It puts weight on you. Like, I have to take a vitamin D supplement because of this shit. Um, but that's my thing. And the first 23 years of my life, I was a gigantic asshole, and just negative and hurtful. Even though I was not trying to be hurtful, I was hurtful. I convinced someone to have an AB in our teen years, which is my biggest regret. But yeah, I have overcome a few things in order to still be around at 61.
Well, I'm just extremely happy that you're still here at 61. If you
Me
hadn't
too.
have been, Carol and I would never got to meet you and give you that big hug.
That's right. Yeah. No, I refer to the time since my brain surgery in 2012 as playing on house money. This is
Yep.
all bonus time because nature was trying to wipe me off the board. Nature was trying to get rid of me 3 different ways. It gave me a brain tumor. It gave me chronic extreme sleep apnea, to where the doctor told me if I had scored 1 point higher, he would have taken my keys away because I would have been in the potential narcolepsy category. and
Oh,
then,
geez.
and then, and then my heart stent in 2017. So, yeah, I was not built to last, but medical science has facilitated my continuation. So that's why it
Nature.
really bugs me that RFK is so against science and experts. It's like that's
Yeah.
literally the only reason I'm here is because of science and experts.
Nature tried to say you were here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
right.
Me, that's me.
And I lived real fast and real hard in my
Yep.
early days. And again, I don't regret that stuff, but it definitely took a toll. You know, I definitely paid for that. I wouldn't change it though. I had a great time. On balance, I've had a phenomenal life. I've done some amazing things. I've been amazing places, met amazing people. So I have no complaints. But I definitely had to overcome some stuff.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, you could still have a few more amazing places to go to. You got a few more years.
Yep.
I mean, I hope
Plus,
so.
you have
Yeah.
an amazing son too.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you talking
Yep.
about Jordan? I'm kidding. Sorry.
John's all right.
Well, Jordan's a good man. Really is.
No, he
A good
really is.
man too.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, Jordan's a real good guy. My son is a year older than him. But yeah, I mean, the work that I put in to course correct has really helped me tremendously. That's what my coaching is all about. Is I just want to share what worked for me, and which is why I've only rarely charged people for it. It's because it's like, no, this was something. Even though I worked to acquire it, I worked very hard to develop my life the way I have. I don't have a desire to make a business out of it necessarily. If I create content around it and the content makes me money, I'll be okay with that. But with people, I think only if I was coaching like institutionally would I really want to charge for it. But I think most of the time with individuals, I would probably choose not to.
And that says a lot. I mean, because you could absolutely be charging for everything,
Yeah,
but
yeah. But I that's something I resist. I talked about it last night about my disdain for capitalism because every time I've displayed any competency in anything, like I taught myself how to make logos and stuff and do digital artwork because I can't draw for shit. I have no artistic capability as far as that, but for some reason, when it comes to vector graphics and creating little things here and there, I've become decent at it. And like so, someone saw my artwork and they were like, "Oh, you should be a graphic designer." And I'm like, "Why?
yeah,
Why do I have to
yeah,
turn everything into a vocation? Can't I just be good at something and enjoy being good at it? You know?"
right,
It's just I hate that knee jerk reaction. Oh, you're so good at speaking. You should be a public speaker. And I'm like, why? Why why do I have to make money at everything that I do? And maybe perhaps I'm wrong for that perspective, but it works for me because I think I spent a lifetime watching people and watching the outcomes that they get, like people that work so hard to make money but neglect their family or
yeah,
neglect their health or have no joy in their life because it's all about work and I got to get to the next level, I got to grind. And these fucking gurus online that are constantly telling you to sacrifice everything for what you want. No, I don't adhere to that at all. I
yeah,
really believe that there needs to be a balance. Like I get that I live in a place where I have to pay for my life. I have to pay to live indoors. I have to pay for my food. I get all that and I accept that. But why do I have to sell my soul for that shit?
yep,
Why does it have to consume me in order to do that? Why is ambition for its own sake something that's valuable? I've
right.
just never gotten it. Danny, I see that you've changed your background there.
Just a little preemptive advertisement for tomorrow.
Well, we have
There you
18
go.
people in here. Why don't you tell everybody what that is?
Well, for those people that are seeing my picture there on the screen in the chat box there, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time on my channel, The Way of Positive Change, it's called Casual Friday. And on Friday, we do Trivial Pursuit. It happens every Friday. And this Friday, we're going to have a special on the silver screen version of 1983 or and before of Trivial Pursuit. So if you like playing the game Trivial Pursuit, please join us. It's for 3 hours. And if you go in there and you don't laugh and have a good time, there is something you need to see Coach Yoda for some advice.
I might not be able to
So
fix you.
please, please join us on Trivial Pursuit on Friday.
Excellent. Folks, I have to echo Danny's sentiments. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I have no idea why this game is so much fun, but I'm so happy that it is. All I can say is forget the game. Forget the idea of whether you like playing games or not. Do you like laughing? Do you like having a good time for 3 hours where you don't have to think about anything else? You don't have to think about the bullshit in the government, in society, in your family, nothing. You just get to have a good time for 3 hours. And while we're doing PSAs, I want to remind everybody of my coaching channel. Whoops, that's not it. I changed
Whoa,
it
what was
yesterday. Hold
that?
on, that was yesterday's picture.
That
I got to find my
that
coaching
one.
Now,
thing again.
listen, I wasn't here yesterday. Go ahead and do what you
Oh
got to
wait,
do,
hold
but
on.
I'm
Let
intrigued by
me
what that picture
hold
was.
on,
Oh,
hold
you
on, hold
gotta
on,
see that picture,
hold on.
Kevin. Though.
I'll show it to you again. This is my high
Yeah,
school yearbook photo.
that's
Oh
the.
man,
Oh yeah, check him
look at
out. The
you!
stud, the
No
stud buffer.
shit!
Yeah, and I
Yep.
brought it up
Hell yeah!
because I was explaining to people that I used to blow out my hair like Tony Manero because I had wavy hair. And a lot of people look at this because it's not that clear. It looks like an afro, but I never had an afro in my life. But this was the Tony Manero round brush blowout that I used to do every day of my life when I was a youngster.
There you go.
Man,
Good
you were
looking
a good
kid.
looking young man. Let me tell you.
You
That's right.
bet. Good
And
looking
now
kid.
that dude looks like he ate another one of that dude, and now we got to me. But let me find the other thing that I was looking for, which was my coaching logo. I had totally forgot that I did that yesterday. So let's see. Let's get back up here. Resources. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
This is kind of like footnotes of last night that I missed.
Yeah, last night was a
Yoda,
good conversation.
I say this with all the love. It looks like your hair just migrated from the top of your head down to your face.
Yeah, that's a good description of it.
It was just a migration.
Yeah, the Great Migration. There it is. 19. That's the one I want. Okay. And now, here it is. Oops, now it's too big. Damn it.
Oop.
Okay, let's see if I can fit it. Damn it. All right. Hold on. Let me close that out so I can get on that. Now here we go. Make this small. Okay, how did I do this the last time? Is it fit? Where is fit? There it is. Fit the screen.
There you
Bingo.
go.
There it is. All right.
Perfect.
Coach Yoda.
Coach Yoda. And if you want to find it on TikTok, it is Coach dot Yoda, Yoddah, because film studios are litigious. I have a few videos on there. I have some content. I'm going to build that up slowly because I do still believe very strongly that there's a good chance that this current channel will be will eventually be gone because where'd my title go? What happened there? Turned on the title and it went away. Wait, is that it? Oh, okay. Here we go. Fit. There we go. So yeah, I have a feeling that they're rolling out the AI slowly because AI requires a lot of computing power, so they're not going to be able to sweep all 170 million accounts right away. But once they get to my account and sweep it, they're going to find 800 pieces of content where I criticize the government. So, and I'm not making that up because I've done almost 900 pieces of content. Actually, by this point, it's over 900. And they're mostly critical of Donnie Dump. So now, I mean, just today we found out that he wants to make it illegal to criticize him.
Yeah.
So, go. Sorry, Jessica. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, I also saw that.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I can't believe that such a man child is the most powerful human on earth. You know, just like a guy that's like, you can't make fun of me. You can't criticize me. I'm president.
It's
Oh,
1938 all over again. Smittler. That's exactly,
yeah.
you know.
Listen, and any man that's afraid of mashed potatoes, I'm gonna make fun of him.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he has a thing with mashed potatoes. It stems from like his father using it as a humiliation tactic.
Mm.
It's a whole thing, but yeah.
Yeah,
My mind
if his
races
father
with
would just have
ideas.
hugged him once in a while, we wouldn't be in this fucking mess. Jesus.
So, may I explain my fun story of work today
Sure.
that has to do with this? Okay, so probably 2 or 3 months ago, I had sent a email message to the Office of the President of the United States complaining about the treatment of veterans here in the U.S. Okay, and I had included in the email some ideas that I felt that were positive. Like because of who he is, you can't just be like, "Oh, you're an idiot," and blah blah blah. You have to, you have to be like, "Oh, sir, with your greatness," and blah blah blah. And so like I tried to play on that with my message to him to be like, "Oh, your eminency, wouldn't it be a great idea to like make sure that veterans are taken care of, that the homeless veterans have somewhere to stay, blah 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 blah," in hopes that maybe there would be some like positive response. Well, today I got the response and it was absolutely deplorable. So I was talking to my coworker in his cubicle today quietly because politics in the office can be an issue. And
Hmm.
like my commentary was, I'm very disappointed that on one hand, the current administration uh, will put veterans on a pedestal, but then when it actually comes down to it, they don't actually take care of veterans. And one of the secretaries in the office came over to the cubicle and she said, "Hi," like with a big smile. We're like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" She goes, "Hey, listen, you guys are talking about something that I'm not comfortable with, and I would rather that you guys stop talking about it right now
Oh,
because my opinions are different than yours, and it offends me that you're saying the things you're saying." And listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm 6'7", 290 pounds. And it took everything of my entire existence to keep my mouth fucking shut because I wanted to say, so you're okay with the mistreatment of veterans in the United States? You're okay with my buddy that now has to wait 300 days to get his fucking elbow looked at after he served his 3 tours in Afghanistan? I just going down that pipeline. I really wanted to, but I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that we were, saying anything that may have been offensive. We'll do better," because that's how you have to say it. And then the entire day, I was thinking to myself, "Oh my God, this bitch is reporting me to the vice president." Because he had come out and said, if people are talking poorly about this administration, you need to report them. And it's like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job because I'm pissed that my buddy can't see a fucking doctor. Uh,
I had an idea. There's this weird hobby that I've had for a long time. I haven't done it in a while, but I'll get an idea for a film and I'll just jot it down. Because there was a time when I thought maybe I'll be a filmmaker, but that's a whole
mhm.
nother story. And one of the plots that I came up with was called 1 out of 10. And it was the idea that America had gotten to the point that in every group of 10 people, there was one that was spying on the other nine. And
Okay.
that sounds like what you just described to me. Like the idea that you're having a conversation in your office and people are snitching on you for that. It didn't sound like you were saying anything crazy. You were expressing
Right.
frustration over your friend, and like it how did the right wing become such fucking snowflakes? That's what
Well,
I'd
and
like
that's
to
the
know.
thing.
Like
You know,
why can't you hear an opinion that's different than yours? There are times where people disagree with me on something, and I have to reply to them by saying, is this the first day in your life that someone's had like a different way of looking at something than you?
exactly.
Like have you
Yeah.
never experienced a different opinion before?
I I could never imagine. Again, back to that social anxiety thing that I still fight with every single day of my life, but I have control of it. But still, I could never imagine hearing two other people, knowing them, talking about something, and not being like super critical, but just having a discussion,
And it didn't even
and
involve
then
her.
correct, and then to insert myself in that conversation and say, what you guys are saying is very offensive to me, and with the current political climate, I don't appreciate what you're saying, and it's just like, what the fuck?
But remember, facts, not feelings, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Remember, cancel
Oh,
culture bad.
Jessica,
Remember,
you don't know
we're
how
the
hard
delicate
I
little
wanted to say that.
snowflakes, remember?
You don't know how hard I wanted to be like Ben Shapiro says it best. Facts over feelings.
I don't
Oh
understand
God.
Ben Shapiro. I mean, for starters, he always sounds like he's 2 weeks away from his testicles descending. And
Yes,
aside from that, he is the smartest sounding dumb guy on television.
correct.
Like he
Correct.
sounds smart when he speaks because he understands how to present himself so that he sounds smart.
Yes.
There's another dude, Tim Pool is the same way. They
Oh
sound
my God,
smart,
Tim
but then
Pool.
when you listen to what they're saying, it's absolutely dumb shit.
Yeah.
I really think that Tim Pool's problem is the beanie that he's been wearing for the last 15 years is restricting the blood flow to his brain, and that's why he doesn't,
Tim Pool's
see the forest
problem
for
is
the
that
trees, if
he's a
you will.
Russian asset who
Well,
who
that
has
too.
been getting paid $100,000 per episode from a Russian group.
Yes, that
let's
is accurate.
let's also not forget that Ben Shapiro is the guy who came on on the internet and publicly admitted he's never aroused his wife. So, there's that.
I don't even want to get into
Oh
that.
man, I need to be introduced to his wife. Lord.
Yes. It was when
Hi ho.
the song WAP came out, right?
Which
Yes,
song?
WAP.
WAP.
Oh, gotcha. WAP. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so he had made like a post
And he was like, I
on
don't
the
understand all this. How could you say that? What? Where did you?
he
Oh
was
God.
basically just like that doesn't sound healthy. Like my wife confirms that like it's not supposed to be like that. And I'm like, way to let everyone know that your wife is mimicking the Sahara, my guy. Like
Like a
good job.
like
I'm
a fucking
I'm
angry
sorry for laughing,
chipmunk. I don't think it's right for the when
but
and
see,
who else? Well, I call him Fucker Carlson.
hmm
He had the same bewildered reaction to it. It's like grow up. Like what the fuck?
yeah,
Oh,
and I will say this because I don't want to name any specific names that may come up right now, but a lot of these people that make their living on debating college kids, okay, people who are 17 to 22. Yes, you sound super intelligent compared to the person who is chronically awake because of their college experience. You sound fantastically intelligent, but then, as you said before, though, when you listen to what they're saying, there was one time when Ben Shapiro was talking to somebody, or debating somebody about climate change, and the person had said, what happens when the oceans flood and the properties and so on? And then Ben looks at them and was like, well, he'll just sell the property to somebody else. And there's an old
genius,
vine where
genius.
where a guy comes in and says, who are you going to sell the property to, Ben? Fucking Aquaman.
Yeah, I mean these are
But
people.
that's, yeah.
There was a senator a while back that was like, well, I don't see why people are having so much money problems. Why don't they just borrow money from their family?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey,
Well, don't
motherfucker,
forget,
we're all poor.
there was also a representative who argued with, it wasn't Milley, I forget who it was. It was one of the heads of the United States Marine Corps, about
Was
building
it
a or
Mattis?
was that who that was?
I think it was
About talk
Mattis.
Okay, about talking about expanding the United States, the USMC base on Guam, and this person's concern was, if you build too much of a military base on one side of the island would flip. And for many, many years, I thought it was like an Onion article, like this can't be real. No, this was a sitting U.S. representative
Yeah,
that
no,
asked that
that's the
question.
kind of person you keep away from sharp objects.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's too stupid.
Uh, yeah,
That's honestly too stupid. You know?
and and that's why I felt like this has to be like an Onion video. There's no way in hell that this was an actual. No, it was. It
Well,
was like
since
from
we're bringing up
2005 or six or
dumb
something like
things
that.
that politicians say, I remember the senator who explained that if a woman was raped, the egg would spontaneously abort itself.
Yes.
There was another one, also a senator, who said that if a woman is graped, then it's not really grape because if she truly didn't want it, that her body has ways of shutting it down and
Of
not
shutting
letting
it
it
down.
happen.
Yep.
Sure,
But
sure.
these are the same people
Like, what
that
does he think that
um
vaginas are equipped with mousetraps or something? Like, what the fuck?
Apparently,
well
there's like a
exactly.
steel door that just slams shut.
He watched too many episodes of Get Smart.
Ironically
Holy
enough,
fuck!
the term for a mouse trap or a rat trap in Greek is afaka. So there
Yep,
you go.
absolutely correct.
But I mean, just recently we saw all of the level of not understanding during the last what was it, the Senate Judiciary Committee meeting with the head of TikTok. Where
Singaporean.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist government? I'm from Singapore. Okay. Yeah, that whole thing.
I just
you know,
I just want to
if
point.
I get on TikTok and it accesses my home Wi-Fi, does that mean that does that mean my that
That's my
whole
senator, by the way.
debacle? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's Tom. That was Tom
Tom
Cotton. That's
Cotton.
my
Yes.
senator.
You
That's
know,
my
you know
senator.
what these guys are really afraid of. You know why they were asking their stupid questions? Because they're afraid that someone is going to discover their corn addiction. That's what it
Yes.
is.
I would say more of a grinder addiction, but
That's exactly
like a
what it
cheese,
is.
cheese
Listen,
grinder, cheese grinders.
I before I moved to where I live now, I had a house for a few years in Dardanelle, which is Tom Cotton's hometown. It
It
is.
sounds like it. No offense.
It's the worst kept secret that man will just say he's a frequent flyer for Grinder.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well, you
think it's
can look
a
at him and
simple
tell
rule
that.
of thumb that if you see a Republican politician red faced on television screaming about the rainbow community, he is
Uh huh.
100% part of it.
Oh,
Well, and,
Yep.
and
absolutely.
and
At
I
that point,
mean,
the closet is made of glass.
and don't forget, the last election cycle, the presidential election cycle, when what was it, was it Minnesota or Wisconsin, where the RNC was held this year or last year?
Wherever it was. I
Uh,
know what you're going to say.
yeah,
So, whatever
wherever, yeah,
town it
yeah,
was in.
and the grinder server, the grinder
Yeah, it
server in that
crashed.
area
It
got
crashed.
crashed. Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
it actually crashed
It was
twice.
Twice.
Milwaukee,
Yes,
Milwaukee, where they had that.
that's right. Yep.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Funny how that
Yeah.
worked. Funny how that happened, right?
Does anybody remember that reference? Milwaukee?
No.
Uh-uh.
Is
That's
it going
from
to be a question
Wayne's.
tomorrow
That's
night?
from Wayne's World. It's from Wayne's World.
Um,
Remember, they were
Is it?
backstage with Alice Cooper, and Alice Cooper explained the origin of the
Yes,
word
yes,
Milwaukee.
yes, yes.
listen,
Oh,
don't give me
Milwaukee.
too much grief, but I've actually never seen Wayne's World.
I wouldn't give you grief about that.
boo.
It's a fun film, but it's not exactly a must-watch. You know,
Right.
Fair enough.
it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Well,
Someone said
referencing Wayne's
RNC is
World.
Grinder's Black Friday.
Awesome.
That's
That was
perfect.
good. You get
That's
me.
Hey,
about
what's up,
right.
Sherry? But
And
I will say
the
this.
thing is that like obviously I don't care who's part of the rainbow community. I care about their
Right.
very harmful hypocrisy. You know,
Exactly.
these people are causing people in that community to be hurt, and meanwhile they're part of it. It's a weird self-hatred that they have.
Exactly. Cherry down in the comments said, "Ugh, did you guys hear?" And I'm kind of,
There's like 500 things that could be, Cherry. You're going to
yeah,
have to
no shit.
narrow it down.
Every day feels like an Onion article. So like,
Yeah.
It really does.
Like I haven't
I
even
just
seen the Onion post anywhere recently because it's like they're like, yeah, how do you parody?
Yeah, the Onion's like, we're good. Just let it
Yeah,
roll.
we have no work here.
Oh, one small bit of good news in the world. I think it's New Mexico just became the first state to introduce a policy that will have universal child care for all infants and toddlers.
Um,
Oh,
that's fantastic,
so this is
Yeah.
what
right?
Cherry just said. 2 military personnel refused to fly armed planes to Israel, and they summoned them to the Pentagon and arrested them.
What the? Oh,
I don't even want to get into that.
I gotta go on mute.
I'm not surprised. Are you
Jessica
surprised?
is my
I'm not
spirit animal
surprised.
right now. God damn it.
I'm serious. I wouldn't be surprised to have them up against a firing squad by the weekend.
Cherry said
God,
they shipped them to a military prison. Their family doesn't know where they are.
I
Like,
really hope
Yep.
that one of them isn't my brother's friend from high
like
school.
this is
They're probably in
this is what
Guantanamo
we've
Bay
been
right now.
talking about. This is what I've been talking about for 10 fucking years. This is how this goes down. When a government turns authoritarian, this is the shit that becomes an everyday thing. Now that he's like a shark. Now that he's got a taste for it, he just wants more. Like he's going
Yeah.
after the view now.
Yep.
Well, she did say armed planes. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Quick
right.
question.
So hopefully that's probably not Jason. But oh my God.
Quick question. Doesn't the USMJ like state that they can refuse orders if it is found to be either illegal or immoral? And seeing as the UN has just officially designated what's going on over there as a G-side, would that not therefore count as immoral, therefore
But
an
see,
immoral order?
but see
Aren't they
what you
allowed to refuse that?
But that'll
what
be
you
determined in a court martial.
Right.
That
correct, and also what you're utilizing right now is called your brain, and unfortunately,
Right, my
a lot of
mistake.
people, yeah, I know, how dare you? A lot of people that have been placed in important positions throughout this administration don't have those. So,
Logic and reason have no home in the Dump administration. This is
that
not.
is correct.
They aren't. They're not there to govern. They are
No.
absolutely not there to govern. Dump has enriched himself in ways that he never imagined.
Oh,
Okay,
Well, that's like
he
Laura
has
Loomer.
raked in billions of dollars with all the grifts that he's done, especially starting last year up to this year. He's just made so much fucking money. One estimate was $3.5 billion.
somebody seriously needs to go to Monticello, however you say it, Virginia, and attach Thomas Jefferson to a electric motor because he is spinning over so fast in his grave night right now that we could power the eastern seaboard off of it.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
that's where
all
I
of them
am
wrote
right now.
about this stuff. Thomas Paine wrote a lot about it. I happen to love
Yes,
Thomas Paine's writings. I refer to him as the original T. Paine, and he,
nice.
but the forefathers understood what would bring America down. They feared it, and they wrote
Yep,
about it. They said democracy will not last under these circumstances. And guess what? We're living in those circumstances
we're
right now.
yeah.
Well, that's like fucking. Did you guys see that post that Laura Loomer made?
Oh God, no.
Oh my God, no! I try to ignore that hurt.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so she made a post and she was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. I do want him to be
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
dictator that the left is claiming he is, and I do want him to go after his political opponents. Well, they're just saying the quiet part
Yeah.
out loud now.
Yeah. Because they're drunk with power. They are absolutely
Yes.
drunk with power, and they're quickly realizing that the legal process is going to take a long time, and they have carte blanche right now. and
Correct.
the Supreme Court is partly to blame for this. I completely overestimated their intelligence last year. Last year in July, when they were about to vote for, it was in June when they were about to vote on July 1st on whether this thing of presidential immunity was a thing. I was very confident that there was no way that they were going to do that. Because I thought, well, if you give the president the power of a king, why does he now need a Supreme Court?
Yep.
Right? So I was like, these people are
He
too
could
smart to
fire
vote
them.
themselves out of a job, but fuck, I was wrong.
Well, see, and that's the thing is, from what I understand, when Thomas Jefferson was convinced to pen the Declaration of Independence, the one portion of that document that was out of, I think it was like 63 modifications to that document. Oh, Jessica dropped. Okay. The one thing that was not remissed upon was we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I got to tell you, we've said it many times before, you put more than one person in a room, they're going to argue about every little fucking thing about everything. Especially when you put 16 freaking governors from back in the old days, or 13, excuse me, the 13 governors from back in the old days. That was the one portion that they didn't even touch. They were like, "Hey, you know what? That sounds fantastic." To the point where, if I'm not mistaken, somebody, and I don't remember who it was, that did actually have a complaint about it, and Hamilton told him to shut up and sit down. you know, and it's like, where do we go from here? You know, what do you do?
So there's two possible outcomes as far as I can tell. And of course, this is just a talking monkey with opinions, right? So I think either America's going to go full dictatorship, which we're inches away from that. We are inches
Oh
away from
yeah.
that happening. I mean, it's already bad enough, quite frankly. But if that does not happen, the only thing that will prevent that is an uprising. And that's going to be horrible.
Well, two things. Number one, and maybe this is just like some level of tism that I pick out. Ever since Trump became president, why does it seem like everybody that talks to the news says the word frankly? Like a lot. And I don't know, maybe that's just some weird tick that I've picked up from like listening to these people constantly. Maybe that's a very common phrase. But like, when you just said the word quite frankly, it 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 was that little tick that I was like, I swear to God, every one of these people has to say frankly at least 3 times. But
It's
regardless of
because of
that,
your pattern. It's because of your pattern recognition because they mimic how the president speaks, and he says "frankly" a lot.
Mm.
it does, and it's so fucking annoying. But anyways, my 74-year-old mother called me today crying because she found out the news this morning around 9 a.m. that Jimmy Kimmel had been basically suspended indefinitely. And the reason she was crying was not because just Jimmy Kimmel, the Jimmy Kimmel Tonight Show or Live or whatever they call it was canceled, and we're not going to be able to see the fun antics of Guillermo anymore. It was because she was confused now. Like she's confused because this isn't like she doesn't understand what's happening. She doesn't understand why these things are being allowed to happen, and she's she's also scared that she's worried that the R word may be more pertinent now than she's ever thought of. And when I say the R word, I don't want to say it on TikTok Live, but you know what I mean, like
Does it start with Rev?
REVE. Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
And she's scared because she's a 74-year-old woman. Like, what is this? This isn't America. This isn't the America I grew up in and lived in and taught children for 30 years and blah blah blah. What's happening?
I understand
You
her
know,
nostalgia, but the fact is that this is what America's always been.
correct.
You know, these. I said this last night, and forgive me if it's too much to repeat it, but um, America's never been what it said it was. Never,
Right,
ever. Okay, all of the pomp and circumstance and pageantry and all of the propaganda, it's just never been that.
correct.
The propaganda is there to make you believe that it's that, to make you feel like it's that, but it's just never been that.
Right, right. And it really annoys me to hear people say, you know, where we are today, everything's so hot, and the political V is so egregious and stuff. Man, open up a fucking history book and just go from 1959 to 1971. Look at all the people that were politically V'd at that point. Like the, on and not even just that's just like roughly a decade in time. We're talking the entire existence of the United States. The people back in the late 1700s and 1800s, the American people were constantly in an uproar over fucking something, like pitchforks and torches, kind of an uproar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So where we are today, you know, it's very calm. And listen, again, because I have to say this, and I do mean this, I don't like what happened a week ago. I don't like that at all. And I don't think that should have happened. But this doesn't define an entire nation and an entire group of people because of what somebody did. This is ridiculous. And to sit here and fan the flames of hatred over one person's actions is just absolutely egregious,
But
especially in a time where,
you realize that they
you
were
know,
itching to do that, right?
oh no, they absolutely were. No, they were waiting for their watershed moment, and that was it. Absolutely.
And the thing is that if they were waiting for their watershed moment, then why choose this one? Like it's not they what they wanted to believe, since the violence was always directed toward Democratic politicians. They want
Yeah.
to believe that now that someone on their side got it, it had to be someone from our side.
Correct.
But that wasn't the case. And even if it
No, not
was,
at all.
why were you okay with all the other stuff going down? Dump didn't even remember the name of the woman after being told
Hmm.
that, her position in Minnesota. He was like, why wasn't the flag at half mast when she died? The blah 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 from
Yeah,
Minnesota,
her
and he was like,
husband.
what,
Yes.
who? I don't know
Who?
anything about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I would have done
Exactly.
it if the governor had put in a
Yeah,
request. Did anyone
Yeah.
put in a fucking request?
Bull
right.
fucking shit. I guarantee the governor put in a request. I
No,
guarantee it.
I maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but how about the fact that he didn't even call the governor,
Right.
right? Because that's very
Right.
common when something like that happens in a state. The president gets on the phone and offers his condolences. It's ceremonial, but I mean, it's the decent
Of
thing to
course.
do,
It's still the
you
decent thing
know?
to do. Right.
Just like when
Right.
Yeah, he
Obama
didn't.
was
He
sitting
didn't
there
do
in
it
the
with.
White House after Dump was elected the first time, and he had to hold his nose and sit next to an idiot for a photo op because that's the way America
Yes.
works, you know?
Correct. Melania had to awkwardly give Michelle Obama a gift when she shouldn't have, but we all suffered through that cringe moment.
Yeah.
you
She
know.
probably gave her memoir "How to Snag a Billionaire" on the Lolita Express.
Well, I was gonna say it was a guideline to all of these fucking Christmas decorations, as she put it so eloquently back in 2019.
God,
But I mean, it's the thing that's frustrating now is, there have been multiple retaliations as far as I'm concerned, and I gotta watch how I say this, but Over in Utah, there were those two devices that were planted under news vans that nobody in the mainstream media is talking about. There are the young men down in the South that, you know,
Yeah.
met their end
Look,
terribly.
the mainstream media. I just wish everybody would just accept that they're useless.
They are.
Just accept
Well,
that. Just
they're owned by three companies, so that
not
makes it.
only
Yeah.
that, and those companies are now owned by the government essentially because
Yes.
you have a dump sycophant running the FCC, and he's going
Yes.
to carry out any horrible thing that Dump wants to do. Like the guy that runs the FCC is basically Tom Hagen from The Godfather. He's the guy
Correct.
that contacts these broadcast networks and say, "Oh, you want your license renewed? You want your merger to go through? Then you got to do something for us."
Well,
All
see,
right?
it's funny you mention that because I had just left Alive to come over here because I know you say this.
Oh, you're
I
so
know,
fucking
but
popular. Whatever.
I,
Go ahead.
no, I felt bad for not being here last night. So, but anyways, no. And one of the remarks was that the FCC is putting their foot down for people that are saying things and blah blah blah. And my comment to that was, okay, well, then I implore you to get on Kiwi SDR, which is a website that you can get onto somebody's repeater, ham radio kind of stuff, and tune in to 7200 hertz. Because if you tune into 7200 hertz, you will hear the most batshit crazy stuff you
oh
could
yeah.
ever, like, you couldn't even imagine the things that these people say on open airwaves.
Yep. I hear it.
And
I hear it all
Sure,
the
I can.
time on
I
yeah,
see it.
7200.
I see it
Yep.
now. I see it here
well,
on this platform. I see it on X.
well,
No, we're talking ham radio.
No, I
We're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
understand, but it's
frequency.
all the same
right.
crazies.
Right.
But see but that's what my take was. If this government is really trying to make a crackdown on the crazies and all these opinions and terrible things that are being said about people, something that happened 2 weeks ago, I implore the director of the FCC to please tune into 7200 megahertz
They're
because
not
holy
there to
motherfucker, those
govern. They are not there
correct,
to govern. Anything they
and that's the
say
problem.
that sounds like they're trying to govern is a lie.
Exactly.
Dump is there for one reason. Why do you think Dump cut all these government programs?
To pay for the ballroom and the ice.
No, for real.
No, for real.
um I don't know. I mean,
It keeps the money in the treasury and he has more money to steal.
there you
That's
go.
Yep.
why.
Okay, that works. Yep.
That's why.
That's exactly why. That's what he's
I mean,
there
Look
to
at that.
do. Look, he accomplished his
Yep.
primary mission, which was stay out of prison. Because
Yep.
that is literally the only thing that saved him from going to prison was becoming president. So
Yep.
once he got that out of the way, then he was like, okay, all you Project 25 guys, all you Heritage Foundation guys, all you Mothers of the Confederacy people, it's our
yeah.
time. And we are going to take it all. That's what the
And
fuck is
Yep.
see,
happening.
And
and
they're
if we
coming
look at
after Social Security now.
well,
Of
oh, yeah,
course.
absolutely. And that's the
Yep.
thing. That's the thing. If we look at history in 1920, and I don't remember the gentleman's name who ran for president. He ran for president from inside prison. He was the socialist um, candidate at the time. He was in prison and was running a political campaign from there to run for president because there's nothing in the Constitution that says if you're a felon, you can't run for
Right.
president. You might not be able to vote in certain states, but there's nothing that
But
restricts you from being
my
president.
guess, my assumption is that 105 years ago, people laughed this guy out of the room.
He was at he was actually pretty close. Like it wasn't as ridiculous as you may think.
All right, I'm giving
He
Americans
did
too
have a
much
good
credit.
opportunity, but But yeah, right. But again, it was 1920, so the different times, I guess. But I really feel though that the current administration is in a situation with like the Heritage Foundation, PragerU, all these other groups where it's kind of
Prager,
a I'll
you. Oh.
scratch. I don't want to get into it.
Dennis Prager,
But
another smart sounding dumb guy.
exactly. I will tell you, the hour and 15-minute long Candace Owens vomit fest about slavery.
That bitch.
Listen, if you've never seen it, anybody that's in this live, I implore you to go watch it
I'm not going to
and
watch
then
it.
just
I'm not going to watch it. And
it's so
I'm not
stupid.
saying other people. I'm done having to remind myself of what this country's about. Okay.
Exactly. Right.
So
Right. Right.
Candace Owen is a sellout on her best day, a step and fetch it
Yes.
Sambo Oreo on her worst day, and really just a traitor to her race. You know,
No, she absolutely is.
I find her to be despicable, especially when she was either 16 or 17 years old. The NAACP came to her rescue,
Yes.
and now
Yes.
she's acting like she's part of the oppressor group, and it's like you're a
Yep.
waste of flesh.
Yep. She's just another right-wing grifter. She's just another person
Yeah.
that has a story where something happened in her life and then all of a sudden she found an opportunity to make money.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
the same thing with Charlie. It's the same thing with Ben Shapiro is a failed Hollywood writer.
Mm-hmm.
He had these aspirations in life to write movies. And then when he went to Hollywood and was like, "Hey guys, this is what I have to write," they looked at his shit and said, "Dude, you suck." And then all of a sudden he was like, "Oh, the right wing media is being destroyed, Hollywood, and and all that stuff." It's literally all these people. The story is copy paste.
By the way, Roger Ebert was a failed director.
Yeah, but Roger Ebert,
But if
didn't
you
go
ever
off on a right-wing
if you ever see the
tirade.
film that he made, I bet you can't get past the first 15 or 20 minutes of it.
Listen,
It is
I'm curious now.
so
What is the movie?
egregiously bad.
What's the name of the movie? Because I kind of want to see it now. You have me a little intrigued.
I think it was you'll have to look it up. I
Hold
think
on,
it
I'll
was
look it
something
up.
like Valley of the Dolls or something like that. But look it up. It was such an abysmally bad film. So it was like, oh,
You're
since
talking
I
about the
can't
one
make
with
films,
James
I'll
Fonda.
I'll go ahead and criticize films.
Was that Jane Fonda? Was she
I
in
don't
it?
think so. I don't think so. There were no big
Hmm.
stars in the film.
Hold on.
Valley of the Dolls, a ring a bell.
Oh,
That's ringing a bell.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls,
There it is.
There
1970.
it is.
There it is.
There it
There,
is.
yes.
So
Beyond the
One.
Valley of
my
the
memory
Dolls.
was
Okay, that is on my
of the
list.
world, 2/3 of the way there. Yeah, no, you won't be able to get through it.
No. Like watching Barbarella. That was another
Listen,
one that was.
listen. Just the fact that the title of the movie is like 15 minutes long makes me feel that I don't want to watch that movie. Like if it was just the Valley of the Dolls. Okay, like I get it. This is
So
like,
adding one more
Earth
word just
versus the
ruins it all
Spider.
for you.
But well, yes, but beyond the Valley of the, it's like, oh, that's too much. I don't care.
Uh,
Would you have ever watched Beyond the Earth versus the Spider?
sure, why not?
Okay, there you go. Beyond the Monty
I don't-
Python and the Holy
I
Grail.
I don't pick films based on their titles.
See, you and I are different people. If the title is too encumbering, I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like The Godfather, perfect.
So Glenn Ross is right out.
That's weird. Yeah, no, I'm good.
It's a great film.
That's too many words for me.
Yeah, there you go.
So in kindergarten when or like elementary school when they were like, "Don't judge a book by your cover," were you just like, "No, fuck that"?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He looked at his teacher and said, "You
James
don't
and
know
the
what the
Giant
fuck
Peach.
you're talking about."
You could have just said the giant peach, and I'd have been cool with it.
That's priceless. Oh,
Oh,
man, oh man. What a fucking world.
yep.
It's just
Ah,
crazy out there, man. I am feeling a little fatigued by it all. Like
yeah.
I think once it occurred to me a couple of weeks ago that I'm not going to be able to pay my bills through social media, even though that's not 100% certain. This At this point, it's looking like that's the case. Especially not right away. I think I've started feeling like, what is the point of all of this? But then I remind myself that, like, I have a lot of fun, so these conversations don't have to have, a monetary value. They just have to be fun, and I am having fun.
And that's kind of the important thing is, it's community.
Yep.
It's finding people that find humor and enjoyment in some of the things that you do, and that's the best part about all,
I'll tell you what I
you know.
enjoy. I enjoy chili peppers, and now there's 100 of them for
Oh
sale.
no.
Chili peppers. That's the goofiest thing that I do anytime I'm on live. I get
Yeah, but
excited
it's
about
it's
chili
good.
peppers. Oh, look
I'll
at,
give you
It's
71 of them.
oh
How
my
about that?
God, you people are going nuts. Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah, this platform apparently rewards you for finishing your goals, and if you don't, they're like, "Oh, he's a loser. He couldn't convince people to buy chili peppers."
There you go. I gave you all of my coins that I have this evening.
Oh, you're the best. You're the best.
Well, that's good because that way you won't be giving it to the panelists tomorrow.
Uh, Don't worry. I'll make sure to buy more coins so I can give them to like Cherry and Tara just to
No,
ruin
you got to
everything
give
tomorrow
them to
night.
me because I'm broke. I got to give you guys the points on the panel.
Listen, so I don't remember which live it was, but I had heard that the cards that you have for tomorrow go up to 1983.
That's
Yeah,
right.
for the silver
Silver
screen.
screen.
All right, so I will absolutely be giving Tara and Cherry some bonus points tomorrow.
Give them to Danny.
No, I absolutely no. I've learned my lesson. I know to give them to Danny first.
No, not first, only. Give them
Only,
to
only. Yeah,
Only.
Danny.
correct. Sorry. Yeah, wrong phrasing there.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
No, imagine what it's like in Danny's shoes, like having to herd all of us for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh, it's
So
we're
speaking
absolutely we're absolutely the worst cattle
It's
ever.
fucking bedlam.
Yes,
speaking of
exactly.
which, Danny,
Bedlam and squalor.
don't
So,
forget you were talking about changing your picture to instead of saying no gift to say
Yeah,
gift with
I
love.
have to get on that because I made this. Danny had found the Trivial Pursuit logo and I embellished it, but I have to change the embellishment and try to find a way to word it succinctly. But I'll do that tonight.
listen, I will tell you, you did just activate a tick or a stem, I guess, when you said the word bedlam,
Hmm.
because there was a few months ago when the president had said something about bedlam and squalor,
Yeah, he
and
was talking
it's
about
like
DC.
motherfucker,
Yeah, when
yeah,
he
it's like
was.
motherfucker, you don't talk like that.
Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
you're channeling the ghost of your grandfather.
Yeah, exactly.
Bedlam is an old timey term that nobody uses anymore.
Right. What?
I mean, I think
Oh
he's
God.
been channeling the ghost of I mean, you know, he wasn't it his grandfather that went to the Mustache Man's Madison Square Garden
Yeah,
rally. So,
1939.
I thought,
Yep. Yep.
you
was
know,
it
I
his
mean that
grandfather or was it his
fits.
dad?
I think it was his father.
No, it's his dad.
Yeah.
His
Yeah, I was gonna
dad
say it
went
was his
there.
dad because that
Yeah,
motherfucker's so
Yeah,
old that his
his
1940.
dad would have been there
grandfather
for
ran
Yeah,
a brothel.
right.
Yes, yes.
I do think it's funny that the last time that Trump went to Germany, um, the leader of Germany gifted him his grandfather's birth certificate, which I thought was ironic because he had his citizenship revoked from Germany.
Yep.
So that was just that's kind of
Yeah,
funny,
if you're too extreme for Germany, you got problems.
right?
Yeah, you need to definitely do some self reflection there.
Which is the last thing Donnie's ever going to do. I think the
Correct.
closest he came was like figuring out that he's going to depart the earth soon of old age. And he was like, I do want to get to heaven. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, well, good luck to you.
I think the
Yeah,
closest
exactly.
he ever comes to reflection is staring at himself in the mirror after a South Park episode and saying, "It's not that small."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Come on, Eddie.
Same thing he's had to say to Melania for years now.
Come on,
God.
Satan. I think that's actually something he probably says to her though. You know.
I
That's
think
why
it's
he gives her a magnifying glass.
opportunity.
I mean,
Yeah.
my assumption is that like because
Electron microscope.
she seems to disappear most of the time. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing she's banging the pool guy or something because it ain't him. It ain't
No,
him.
it's
Yeah.
not.
You know.
Well, I mean, so it came out whenever they were having to release like some of their financials and stuff like that. That for public appearances, he has to pay her $50,000 per public appearance, which
Right.
is why she doesn't appear in public with him very often. So if he's got to pay 50 grand just for a public appearance,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, imagine what a date night would be. So I'm betting they haven't had it in a while.
Yeah, and you know we don't
No.
even have to imagine it. We could just read Stormy Daniels' testimony.
That's true.
Exactly.
There is that. Speaking of, since we were kind of on the subject mirror of or subject matter of reflection and all of that, did you watch the interview with her where I can't remember who it was, but they brought out a little tray of fake mushrooms?
Yeah, that was Jimmy
And
Kimmel,
they're
I
like,
think.
yeah, they're like, which one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
chose
So
the smallest one.
yeah, well, it wasn't the smallest, but it wasn't far off. But yeah, I don't think South Park was far off.
Yeah.
Yes, South Park has been knocking it out of the park every week since they came back on.
Oh, Moby, look out. They're probably next. They'll probably
Yeah, but
get
it won't matter to them.
SNL.
Those guys are so
Yeah, I
rich,
know.
it doesn't even matter.
Well, and that's the thing is contractually they signed that what was it $1.5 billion contract.
Yep.
So they have a legally binding contract right now,
Right.
and
Oh, so
you know,
did Jimmy Kimmel. He
And
had a
well,
legally
yeah.
binding
Jimmy
contract.
Kimmel is now suing ABC for $1 billion.
That's
and I'm going
right.
to tell you what. Good luck to that man. I hope he wins it. And if Matt Stone and Trey Parker end up in the same boat, oof.
It
Yeah,
won't.
good
It
for
really
them.
won't matter because the thing is this: Matt and Trey now have everything they need to take their production
Oh.
anywhere they want.
Exactly.
You know, and same with Jimmy Kimmel, same with Steve Colbert. If Steve Colbert wanted to, he could quit. You know, by the time his contract ends, which is like 9 months from now, he can just start a podcast and be
Yep.
instantly wealthy again. You know,
Yep.
these big podcasts make a lot of fucking money.
Yes, they do. And I'd be there. I would be right there listening to him.
Yep.
I mean, he's an interesting dude. You know, I was born 3 days before him in the same year. Uh,
Sure.
but you know, like I like Craig Ferguson's podcast because I loved the Craig Ferguson show or late night with Craig Ferguson.
Hmm.
And you know, I just find him to be a brilliant man. I don't think I haven't watched the Tonight Show or whatever fucking show it is, late night. I haven't watched those in so long, especially Jimmy Fallon. I think he's a terrible fucking host, but he's been on there for a
Yeah.
long fucking time.
Yep.
I haven't watched Fallon since he was on SNL.
Yeah.
Like,
And all he
you
did
know,
was rip off what's his face? The guy who did Billy Madison,
oh, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, good for him. I don't begrudge him his success, but it's like, like think about this. Jimmy Fallon, hey Penelope, thanks for showing up. Thank you for the gifts. Jimmy Fallon is the only actor who couldn't make a rom-com work with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
That,
because Adam Sandler did a great job with 51st Dates.
yeah, yeah.
Like I have seen that movie probably 1,000 times
Well, and that
because
was
my
their
wife loves
second
it.
collaboration. The first one was
Yes.
uh,
Oh God,
Wedding
what's the name
Band
of it?
or something.
The
Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Wedding Singer. Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yes. And,
yeah.
and I'll tell you, both of those movies, like, you know, there's the scene where he's on the plane with Billy Idol, the actual Billy Idol.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it brings me to tears. And then also 51st Dates. I know it sounds dumb, but it really hits you emotionally. It's a really good story. It's a really, you
Yeah.
know, both of them are really good stories.
It's
Jimmy
very
Fallon,
sad.
it's
It's very
like,
sweet. And
you suck.
Adam Sandler actually has a lot more range than he's given credit for because he did do a
He does.
drama a few years ago and he was excellent in it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, I mean, what's the other movie? Is Click, right? Is that the name of that one
Yeah,
with the
with the
controller
remote control. Yeah.
with yes, yeah. Like I remember the ads for that movie, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be this fantastic comedy with Adam Sandler during his prime." And I went with one of my ex-girlfriends to that movie. You know, like we were like, "Oh, this is going to be funny. We're going to be laughing." Ha 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 ha. And then three-quarters way through the movie, you're just like, "Oh my God, this is so terrible." You know, like you almost brought the tears because they went from like haha funny to this serious uh storyline, and it was like, holy shit, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. Um, there was a TV show that used to do that all the time. Scrubs.
Yeah, yeah, Scrubs was really good at
Uncut
that too.
Gems.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Uncut Gems in
Ah.
2019. That was a straight up drama, and Adam Sandler played a guy that was like a very intense character, and he pulled it off beautifully.
um Brought up Scrubs. um oh my goodness, Perry Cox. Yeah, Dr. Cox
Yes.
um is played by John C. McGinney.
Yeah. McGinley. Yeah.
Apparently, McGinley, thank you. Apparently, he has reported that he is coming back for the reboot
Yeah. I mean,
to play Dr. Cox,
if
which
it's the original showrunner, that'll work. If it ain't, it's not gonna.
I agree. I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping it is, but you know, time will tell. Time will tell with that.
What's his name? Bill something. Bill Lawrence. Bill Lawrence has an amazing
Yes,
track record as a showrunner, you know, show creator and a showrunner. So, you
yes,
know, when Scrubs tried a final season without him, it went to shit
it was bad.
immediately. So,
Yes,
yeah. because
I've never actually.
they had a weird trajectory because they thought that they were ending the show, and then they extended it, but they did it without Bill Lawrence, and it was just terrible.
Yep.
Jessica, it sounded like you were going to say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I've never actually watched Scrubs, but I've heard that it's phenomenal.
It really is. It fools you because it comes off the way they promoted it was just like a goofy comedy, right? And it
Hmm.
is that a lot, but they can turn on a dime from something really really funny to something heartbreaking, and they do it constantly, and it works every time. And also the
Exactly.
music in the show, I loved. I want like every episode, I would look up the music, and because it was very acoustic guitar driven kind of music, and I downloaded a lot of those songs. Very beautiful stuff. A lot of it had to do with relationships and loss and love and all that good stuff. And many of the songs were extremely sad because, in a hospital, one of the things that happens in a hospital is people perish. People reach their expiration date for a variety of reasons. And some of the stories were just fucking heartbreaking. But it was a great
Well,
show.
see,
I enjoy
I
a
know
good
that
emotional roller coaster.
I recommend Scrubs. It
Yeah.
is an absolute emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm probably kind of weird for this, but I enjoy things that make me feel really deeply emotionally.
I don't think that's weird
I'm
at
also
all.
like
I think that's a lot
I'm
of
a
what people,
crier.
what people, or why people are drawn to art is that it makes them
Yeah.
feel something.
And like, especially whenever it comes to like, you know, movies or shows or music, I am a crier, and I'll just go through these phases where I'm like, all right, I just want to be emotionally devastated by something
Yeah,
today, and I
Yeah.
just have to watch something that I know I'm just gonna sob uncontrollably while either listening to or watching.
I am exactly the same way, and it's I find it to be very cathartic. Like once in a while, I'll just be feeling something. Like I shared last night that I had this conflict over CK's perishing because, and it wasn't about him specifically. But I realized that I was sad, and for a minute I didn't know why I was sad. And then I thought, well, maybe it was because he was a young man and I'm not young anymore. And so that made me sad. And so, like, in moments like that, I'll reach for a song that takes me over the edge emotionally so that I can get rid of all those emotions and let them cycle out of me,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's been me the last couple of days. There's like this. I came across it on TikTok just scrolling through, and there was a video that had a certain song playing in the background. And I was like, ooh, that sounds really emotional. So I'm gonna look it up, and I did. And for like the last 2 days, I've been
Yeah.
listening to this song and just like bursting into tears.
Yeah. I would say that probably 10% of my collection of music is exactly that songs that I heard at the end of a film, at the end of a TV show, whatever, or in the middle of a TV show, and I find it and download it. Some of them like what is it called? Death Cab for Cutie, I think it's called, that band. I
Yeah.
Yeah.
discovered them through Scrubs, you know. And a lot of these bands I would have never known of because they're, small indie bands. Like you have to really be into the indie world to know these bands because they're not mainstream at all. And, I got to find some really great music that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scrubs was absolutely good at uh, giving exposure to a lot of indie bands, a lot of music, and I mean, really, like whatever the emotion was of the episode, they made sure that the song fit
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I remember like
Do
I
they
would
have one
send my
of
ex-wife links to the songs all the time. I was like, "Oh my God, this reminds me of us."
those? Do they have one of those? Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it's this thing that I've noticed that longer running shows tend to do, especially around that time period, is they would just have one random episode where it's just for some fucking reason a musical.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Does Scrubs have one of those?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Community was good for that too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've never watched
Ricky
Community,
Gervais made
every
fun
now
of
and then.
that in extras. He made fun of the fact that that eventually when a series becomes successful, for no apparent reason, there will be a music star on it singing a song.
Hmm. At some point, it'll just the whole episode. There will be one episode where it's just randomly a musical, and there I
Yeah.
can think of so many shows that have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stephen Bochco thought it would be a good idea to have singing police officers in a TV show. He was
Oh my
wrong.
God, what was that?
Cop Rocks.
Cop Rocks. Oh God. So I never got to experience that live, but through one of those like VH1 or like these were things that happened, shows that were back in the day kind of a thing. And yeah, Cop Rocks, where it was just it
Yeah,
was
I don't know. I
basically,
don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
it was so bad.
Yeah, like Jessica, picture
By the
this:
way,
two police officers talking about a case, and then they just suddenly break into song.
by the
The
Okay,
fuck
way,
is that?
It was a thing. It was a thing.
What is the thing?
and listen, like I was a theater kid. Okay, so like I did it competitively as well, um, and so like I do enjoy a good musical, and I've seen several Broadway productions, and I immensely enjoy them. But I don't want to be enjoying like a drama series where just randomly, like somewhere in the third season, there's just one episode where now suddenly it's a fucking musical and everybody's singing every other line. That's just weird. It's either a musical or it's not, but it has to be done well.
Yeah. Let's see. How
Well,
many episodes did
Cop
they have?
Rocks was not done well.
So let's see. Yeah, Cop Rock, Stephen Bochco.
Was it the premise of the
Oh,
entire
by the
show
way,
was
there was only 11 episodes.
Yes.
all 11 episodes were like that?
Yeah, that was the
Oh
show.
my.
The show was like they tried to turn like they did the thing that Broadway shows do. You know, where they kind of sing their dialogue, but it's talking, singing kind of shit.
Hmm.
And it was just
Yeah.
dumb. And sometimes there were dance numbers. It made no sense.
It
Interesting.
may I play a sample
Sure.
because I was very intrigued by this. Hey, let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out
Let's be
there.
careful out there.
So
So
now
this,
that's a takeoff of Hill Street Blues, obviously.
Yeah.
yes, this was the major or the captain, talking to the officers. Before that had happened, he was giving out the day's work to the certain
That's
officers
what
and
they
so
did
on and
in Hill
so
Street
forth.
Blues. That's how they started every
Yes,
episode of Hill Street Blues. And at the end of that scene, that's what the sergeant said. Hey, remember, be careful out there.
and in this, for some random reason, like everything before that point where that sergeant or captain or whatever said, "Let's be careful out there," um, he was just talking and like literally giving out orders to the different officers. You guys are
Yeah.
working on this case. You guys are working on this case, and then just out of nowhere, the guy's fucking singing, and it's just so cringe. It really is.
Yeah, that's cringy.
Yes,
It's awful. That's why there was only 11 episodes. You know, this was back
exactly.
in the days where a season was like 39 episodes. And now,
Right.
and now they was just like, no, we're done after 11. We don't need you anymore.
We're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming shows or newer shows that are currently streaming that you guys are interested in or excited about?
Hmm.
For me, it's NFL football season, so no.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
Football.
Go
I
Chiefs.
there's a few shows that I have in
0-2,
rotation.
baby.
I am rewatching Barry.
I know. You have to remind me.
Barry?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Danny.
Did you ever see Barry?
Signal me.
I haven't.
Oh wow. Okay. So uh, Bill Hader from
Hmm.
SNL made a very dark drama.
Is that
Uh,
the one where he's a serial unaliver?
no, he's a hired hitman.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable. Bill Hader has an encyclopedic knowledge of film technique. Like he
Hmm.
studied every director in history, and he'll be like, oh yeah, I got this scene from this one from 1928 and blah blah. Blah. Like he's wild with that. But
I
it's
remember when it
such a
was
well written show.
I remember when it was airing and thinking that it looked interesting, but I never actually just sat down and watched it.
The other one this is a new show that I started watching, Alien Earth.
Hmm.
That's a good one. Um, Dexter just finished. That was good.
Yeah.
I've loved Dexter from the very beginning.
Yes, my dad got me into Dexter.
Let's see, what else have I seen that was interesting?
By the way,
Yes,
you can watch Scrubs if you want on Peacock. It's available to watch.
I don't have any of those services. I watch everything through my apps.
I just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
I
that.
don't have Peacock, but
Yeah. Let's see. We have Mr. TJ Randall. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Great. What's on your mind?
Nothing much. You and Traffic and Jessica know me. It's
I know your voice.
yeah. No, I just came up to say hi 'cause I've not been on in a while, so I just thought to say hi to you
Oh,
guys.
appreciate that
Wish
you
you
stopped
It's been
by.
a while.
I
Does
was
yeah.
just
anybody know the producer Dick Wolf?
Yes.
First of all,
Law and
I
Order.
just think that's one of the greatest names in Hollywood. You
Dun
know,
dun.
Dick Wolf, because Dick Wolf sounds like a type of wolf. You know,
Dick Wolf, love it.
but he has three
You must be
shows
a
that
dick.
I love, and I think they're probably just coming back from hiatus. But Chicago PD, Chicago Med, and Chicago Fire. And all I can say is the reason I watch them is that Dick Wolf knows how to manipulate my emotions. He does it
He sure
in
does.
every fucking show every week. Almost every episode that I watch of his shows makes me cry.
So
Yeah,
my wife does not like the fact that Law and Order or any other offshoot of Law and Order, I love that show. Like Dick Wolf, man, whether it's Criminal Intent, SVU, Straight Up Law and Order, whatever, I love watching those. And she's like, what's wrong with you? You're not an old person. And I'm like, because every episode is a very intriguing storyline. Like Dick Wolf knows how to do this shit. I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
Do you
the other
know?
two that I like are the Penguin, um,
Yes, yes.
and the Boys.
Wait, Dick Wolf was involved in those?
No, Jessica was
Oh, I'm
asking me
sorry.
for TV shows that I like.
Ah, okay, okay.
because
Did
I
you know traffic? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
oh, no worries. I was just I've been just waiting for a show that I'm interested in to come out, but it doesn't come out until spring. So I've been trying to find something to watch in the meantime. So I was just kind of looking for ideas.
And when which show
Are
comes out
you
in the spring?
Okay, so I'm not typically a huge Marvel fan, but I am a huge Punisher fan.
Okay.
And
excellent?
so Daredevil did a reboot, and they've already had their first season of the reboot, and the second season comes out in the spring, but it also comes out at the same time as a Punisher special feature with
Gotcha.
John Bernthal reprising his role as the Punisher. So super
Have you
excited.
seen Have you seen the new Superman? Like, I'm not really into like Marvel and DC, but the new Superman was actually really, really good. I gotta give it to them. It was really good.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
well,
I can't imagine how almost all of Hollywood has turned into superhero films.
oh, I know. Have you seen? Um, Obviously, I think you guys probably have. You've watched The Rookie and 911 and all that.
The
The Rookie
Rookie.
is with who stars in it? Nathan Fillion.
Oh, I think I saw a couple of episodes, or maybe one episode of it. It seemed okay.
Oh no,
Traffic man. Go
I
ahead.
mean, it's good, but like they brought out so many seasons that I'm just sort of like getting like how when you watch so many seasons of like the same thing and they just keep bringing more and more seasons out. It's just like the same like sort of like thing over and over again. Yes, I'm getting really sick of watching. Like you can watch it for so long. It is really really good. Like how they made it. They actually brought in like real police officers to train them and shit like that. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
uh,
not a problem.
um, but yeah, it was really good the way they made it. But it's just because they brought out so many seasons, so many episodes, you just get really sick of it after a while. But it was good.
Yeah. How many seasons has
That's
it been
how
out?
7, 8. I think they're making a ninth one. I think.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
that's how Grey's Anatomy got for me. After I think they're on like season 20 something at this point,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
I'm
I
just like
watched one
Jesus
episode of it
Christ.
and
Like,
I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Listen, after McDreamy left the show, I was like, I'm done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It just
Wait,
went
is that
downhill after
traffic
that.
talking? Because it says he's muted for me.
No, he's
No,
Yeah,
yeah, that was
that's
no, I'm
him.
just a
talking.
glitch that happens
Oh,
sometimes.
hi, traffic. How have you been?
Oh, alive.
Fair enough.
So
I just
anyway,
no,
traffic man.
Yes, sir.
There is a Law and Order UK. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
is
Yes,
there?
it's on Amazon Prime. If you have Prime, you might
I need to
Yeah.
find it
check this right
somewhere
now.
else. But it is Law and Order UK.
I'll
Very
have to check
good.
that out. I'm very interested
Yep.
in that. Yeah.
Yep.
It's Law and
I've
Order,
just been
but with a British
Downton
accent.
Abbey.
Right.
That's correct.
As
And it's
long as Ice
good.
T's
It's
there,
actually
I'm good
good.
Oh
with
my god, it is a
it.
thing. Oh my god, it is a thing. I'm gonna watch that. Thank
I
you for
didn't
that
know that was a thing.
suggestion. No, neither did I. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna go away and binge that now once I'm done with this.
Well,
Hey,
see, Jessica, you have me very intrigued about something. You said that
What?
John Berthnall is reprising his role as the Punisher.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
John
God!
Berko.
I just listen. All I want to see him is go. All I want to see is him going. No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait.
Oh my God, yes.
Wait, is this a John Berko? It might be a different John Berko, but is this the same John Berko that was the Speaker of the House or the House of
No,
Commons?
no,
No.
no, no,
Okay,
no, no,
no, it's
no.
I was so
Barenthal.
confused.
It's
I
John
was like,
Barenthal. But
Yes,
oh, I
it's
thought you said
John
Traffic
Bernthal.
Berko.
Man,
Oh,
did you hear John Mulaney's take on Ice T on that show?
No, I have
You want to
not.
look up that routine? It's really funny.
I'm going to do that right now. You said it was John Mulaney,
He's like
yeah?
Ice T's been on this show 13 years, and he's still amazed that Schmeck's crime happens.
Yeah.
And
We got.
wait.
I'm
No,
only giving you a sample, but the whole routine is really really good.
Well, I will say this. Ice-T's performance throughout the early years of a Law and Order SVU when he became the detective, after watching New Jack City,
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, it's the same character, but with a little less, I shouldn't say a little less, more refined emotion.
In what world do we think Ice-T can act?
Listen, if anybody has a question, I go watch New Jack City because that'll answer it for you
Yeah,
directly.
Ice-T is playing Ice-T in that film.
Yes.
Well, do you know, Jessica just mentioned something in the chat about, because I told her that, I've not been on in a while because I've been doing debates on Discord. I was like, Jessica was like, that must have been rough. So I was, would you want me to tell you a few encounters that I've had? A few, like, probably worse than here. And yeah, I mean worse than like TikTok. I mean really bad. So there was one earlier. I was speaking to a woman. She came on, and she said she was like 60 or something like that, right? I was like, oh, okay. And then she was talking about fucking drag queens reading books to children, right? Um, and she started. She was one of those people that's like, these drag queens are going into these schools pushing ideologies at their heads and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. She was like, these trans drag queens. And I was like, hold on a second. Trans drag queens? I was like, you do know trans people and drag queens are not the same thing. And she was like, yes, they are. They're all the same thing. I was like, okay, how are they the same thing? And the minute I asked her that question, she was like, I'm muting you. And I was like, okay. And then her friend comes in and she was like, his friend was like, why are you being a violent leftist? And I was like, hold on, how am I a violent leftist? Please tell me how I'm a violent leftist. He was like, you're getting very angry. And I was like, anger and violence are two different things. Could you
That's the
please
new
tell me the
talking
definition
point.
between I was like, can you tell me the difference between violence and anger? And they were like, yeah, so anger is a subcategory of violence. And I was like, oh, for
What?
fuck's sake. I was like, you know what? You guys have an amazing day. I hope you all live the American dream that you want. And and then she came into another voice channel 2 hours later and started raging at me. She started going, are you in here promoting all this trans drag queen ideology stuff again? Like, can you go away? I don't want to talk to you. It was it was just so ridiculous. Like
I
Discord's
love
so
how they
much
refer
worse.
to it as an ideology, like there's some organized philosophy that people are pushing on other people. It's like it's just an identity, man. Get over it.
I just love how she said trans drag queens. I was like,
Yeah,
hold on a second.
that
Oh,
makes
these
about as
people are
much
clueless.
sense as black Republicans.
And then I was so angry because someone came in talking about LGBTQ people and started going on about why do we have an LGBTQ community? It's so pointless. They're just, they think they're so superior. And I was like, do you know there would actually never be an LGBTQ community if they weren't oppressed and marginalized throughout history? That would have never been a thing if they weren't suppressed and marginalized throughout history. We just accepted people for who they were. Like this is what conservatives are doing. You guys are doing. You're literally proving the point on how LGBTQ became a thing. Like, if people just accepted people for who they were, we wouldn't have all these special names and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people get involved in shit that doesn't involve them.
Mm,
Like if you're a man who finds other men attractive, what does how does that affect me?
yeah, literally.
Like if you're a woman, if you're a man who feels like he's a woman, if you're a woman who feels like she's a man, none of that affects me. I don't care. Like, I want you to have all the rights that any human would have, and why is this even a fucking subject of discussion? It doesn't
Well,
affect anybody.
someone got so angry with me yesterday that they literally threatened to grab my IP, right? And I went away and they came back and they put an IP address in the chat. And I went away and I was like, do you know that's an IP address of Washington, D.C.? I'm on a VPN, you absolute idiot. And And he was like, no, it's not, it's your IP. I was like, okay, whatever. And I just think that just shows, what the writer like. Like, if you don't agree with them, they'll go to these crazy extents. Like, they wanted to dox me and everything. Like, that's insane. That is insane.
Yeah, they've become the biggest crybabies ever. But before we continue, hello, Dangerfields. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Doing okay. What's on your mind?
The only thing that bothers me is, I thought we had come to a time when there was no difference between men and women, no difference between black and white, no difference between LGBTQ and straight. And then my world got turned all upside down because guess what? It's the big thing today.
What when did you think that what you just said was true?
Oh, about 10 years ago.
I
Truthfully,
must have missed that day.
nobody made a big deal out of it.
I don't remember ever that all of this was okay and there was no difference
Yeah.
between this, that, and the other.
Well,
Like I
you're from New
I'm not
York.
saying you're wrong. I'm telling you I've never experienced that.
Yeah, well, I did. You know what it is? It's I grew up in New York. You're from New York, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean nobody made a face at anybody coming down the street, or
I have
nobody
no
if
idea
the
what you're
source was
talking
a
about.
woman.
I have never experienced that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
What?
All right, I'm confused.
Real quick.
Let's let you think about what you're saying and maybe present it in a different way. And while we're doing that, Eddie, how you doing?
Okay,
Hey Yoda, how's it going?
Another day in
Eddie.
paradise, man. What's on your mind?
Hey guys. Not much. I've been a little busy with work and everything, so I haven't been able to get on lives, but you know what's on my mind. This hypocrisy going on. This we're at a point right now where if we don't have we're gonna get state mandated Charlie Kirk shrines. And if you don't go if you don't go and worship them the right way, Cash Patel's gonna come in here and look at your background and be like, "Did you say hi to a trans person this morning on the bus?"
Eddie, real quick.
Hey, traffic.
Hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you in a while. What
Yeah.
was it? Was it your father that during C-19 did not get his military?
Yeah, that was
Uh,
him. Mhm.
oh my God! I finally got a response from the Trump White House today in an
Did
email.
you?
Oh my God! No, okay.
Did
So
you?
I completely remember why. So okay, so it's been a while since I sent that scathing email to the White House saying that I was pissed that
I remember.
you
I
know
remember.
yes, and I wrote that email while while we were talking. I got a response, and that's what spawned that lady coming over and saying, "I don't agree with what you're talking about. You guys need to shut the."
Yeah,
Oh my God! Oh, it pisses me off even more now because I didn't, normally like with an email like that, you'll get like a copy of what you sent,
yeah,
and then there's the response. I didn't get that. I just got the response from the email, basically saying that Donald Trump is doing everything to honor veterans and blah blah blah. And oh my God, I'm even angrier right now because the email I got back was just such fucking bullshit.
yeah, yeah. I didn't expect him to
Oh
do
no.
anything to cure the problem or
Fuck.
you know of any kind. Not at all. I remember. I think Dan and I looked it up, and it was like even in New York, I think there were like just thousands of cases already of the same in the same place in the same situation where veterans didn't get their flag, didn't get their salute, didn't get anything like that. And here again, I don't need anything for me, but that's why we talked about it, traffic, and feel free to like I told you, feel free to use my father as the example because when it happened, and you know,
And real quick, if I may, and this is up to Yoda. Do you mind if I read the response email that I got back from the White
yeah,
House?
yeah, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
How long is it?
Uh, Kind of long, but I can paraphrase if that makes sense.
Yeah,
If that's
go ahead
better.
and paraphrase.
Okay. Dear Mr. C, thank you for taking the time to share your views regarding the nation's veterans, which I did not ask about the nation's veterans. I asked about one specific veterans, and that was Eddie's dad. Blah blah blah. We love our veterans. Blah blah blah. I'll read the last paragraph. As commander in chief, my loyalty will always be to the brave men and women that risk their lives to protect this nation's sovereignty. As president, I am bringing common sense back to the VA and comma most importantly, comma, which I don't know if that's grammatically correct. It seems weird. Putting America's veterans first. Now, my email, my email to the president's office was that I was angry over the fact that there were veterans during C-19 that did not receive their proper
Yeah,
military
what happened
honors.
was you got an AI automatic reply.
Guys, look in the
They
That
chat.
is correct.
they
No, that
picked
is
out
100% correct.
keywords and they just said, "Okay, we have a form letter for this," and that's what they sent you.
Yes, and Mr. Randall is correct.
That's unfortunate. So,
Yeah.
Dangerfields, back to you. I want you to help me understand this magical time when
Oh, okay.
all everybody was getting along and nobody noticed any differences.
I had moved for 12 years to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Kind of an unusual place where when you passed people in the supermarket, you said hello.
Tell me the Reader's Digest version to the answer of my question.
Well, the Reader's Digest version is I used to stop everybody, of course, you know me, and tell them jokes. And I didn't have a problem with anybody.
So you just basically assumed that the whole world was Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Yeah, in other words, I
Yeah,
thought they
that was a
were the
faulty
same.
presupposition on your part because there has never been a time when everybody was getting along and everything was wonderful. I'm glad for your experience, but to assume that that was the world writ large is absurd.
I moved back to New Jersey 5 years ago, and I found out that wasn't the way things are.
All right. Well,
Let me say this,
good
my
for
friend. I
you.
live in Texas, and it was never like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, also as somebody in rural Arkansas where people are generally friendly, it's still never been like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, congratulations for your window of time when you lived in Shangri-La. I've never been there.
Yoda, I have an
You
off-topic
should go.
question.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I
You
have an
should go.
off-topic question.
Eddie, I think Eddie was trying to ask me something.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I said I had an off-topic question for you, Yoda.
Go ahead.
It's been a good while. Did you ever put on Psycho 2?
Yes, and it was absolute dog shit.
Oh, really? Wow. I would love to know. Whenever you get a moment, I'd love to know that. You don't have to do that now, but I would love to hear it.
Yeah, you just heard it. It was just a dog shit film.
I don't know what you didn't like about it myself.
I didn't like anything about it. There was not one element of that film that made any fucking sense, that was any good, that was even remotely similar to the original. So that's my synopsis.
Remotely, I mean, the character is literally the same character. I can't say that it's not remotely similar, but
I can, and I did.
okay. Well, yeah, that's fine, Yoda. I mean, I'm not gonna argue with you on it. I just wanted your opinion.
You can't argue with me over my opinion. So that's the
No,
nature of
that's
why
true. That's
opinions are
true.
so wonderful.
Yeah, you're entitled to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So asked and answered.
I'm
Not a problem.
74, and I remember watching Village of the Damned. It scared the living daylights out of me.
I'll take 9 sequiturs for 100, Alex. Okay, great. So we're going to start winding down. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to share before we close out?
Can I ask a question
Sure.
to traffic? Once Yoda closes this stream, if you're still up, will you go live?
No, I got to work tomorrow morning, so I'm not going to go
Oh,
live.
right, okay. Well, let me know when you go live and I'll come on.
Okay, we'll do.
I had one last thing. Did you guys see And I really thought that this was a joke and that it was not true, but I did some Googling and everything that I can find indicates that it is true. There is a golden statue of Trump that has been placed in front of the Capitol.
Yep.
It's
What?
holding the
Oh my
coin.
god.
It was
Good night,
paid
everybody.
by some crypto investor, but it is a 12-foot statue on
Yep.
the plaza. Yes, it is there.
So my question is it like clad gold or is it solid gold? Because
No, it's not
that
solid
deter
gold.
okay,
It's
I was
gold
gonna say that
plated.
determines whether or not I'm going to make a trip to Washington D.C. tonight or not.
Uh, I mean, how many authoritarian check boxes do we have to check?
Oh,
Yeah.
all of them apparently.
This was literally Trump's thought process, right? He was literally, let's deduct lots and billions from child cancer research and healthcare, and just say we have too much money in those places, and then we're gonna build a big, massive, beautiful ballroom and just build a big, massive, beautiful statue of me, and conservatives won't care because they love the king, they love me, they praise me, they absolutely love me.
We're a minority report
When's
at this
your birthday?
I'm sorry, what was that? A couple people were talking at
When's
once.
your birthday?
My birthday?
Yeah.
It's May.
All right.
My
So
birthday's
maybe
in
we
like
could book the
listen,
ballroom.
So
Dangerfield. If
random.
you're
Hold,
if you're
hold, wait,
excited
hold,
about
hold, hold
getting
on,
some,
Dangerfield. What
sorry,
were we
go ahead.
saying?
I said in May we could book the ballroom for your birthday.
Yeah, that was really worth it. Thank you. What were you saying, Traffic Man?
No, I was gonna say if he's excited about birthdays, mine's coming up in like 9 days. So
Yeah. Well, it's the
Oh, well,
same
happy
punchline for
early.
yours, so
yeah, exactly. Sorry.
Why don't
Too
you book
soon
my
for your
beautiful ballroom
birthday.
and dance the night away?
Well, I'm glad you told that, traffic man. I got a
Thank
box
you.
of plates we can break on your floor and give it a good Greek
Opa,
birthday.
opa.
Opa, that's right.
that sounds like racial profiling to me.
No, that
That
happened at a
Opa
Greek
is like
birthday
rain.
party. They break
I
plates
know.
on the
I know.
Wait, can I say one last thing? And
Sure.
Grandpa Danny, I know I don't know you, but I just saw you were a veteran, and even though I'm from the UK, thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I hope that you follow me and I'll follow you back.
I have followed you, don't you worry.
Danny is the most honorable man I've ever met in my life and one of the
Absolutely.
kindest. And if you follow him and attend his lives, you'll see what I'm talking about.
That's who we should have the
Wonderful.
birthday for.
Holy
Can we
fuck,
stop
dude.
talking
You
about
just
the
will not give
birthdays?
up on this dumb birthday idea. Jesus.
I know, hey.
But
It's gonna
anyway,
be sitting
yeah,
there. What are we
fantastic. Have
gonna
a
do
good
with
night.
it?
So, anyway, everybody, thank you so much for coming up. It's been a pleasure. I do my best to come up with ideas. I never know where they're going to go, but you always breathe life into these topics more than I could ever imagine, and I sincerely appreciate that. Because otherwise, it would just be me up here flapping my gums for an hour, and nobody wants that. With that, thank you to everyone in the chat who have been tapping away and sharing the live and gifting and all that good stuff. Tomorrow is the day we've all been waiting for. Friday, Trivial
Absolutely.
Pursuit, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, adjusted for your goofy time zone. And I'm telling you, it is the most fun that you could possibly have on social media with your clothes on. So join Danny
Correct.
tomorrow for that. All I can tell you is that it's 3 hours of laughing. So if you want to laugh for 3 hours
Well,
and have a good time and not worry about all the other bullshit that's going on, that's the place where you want to be. I myself will be on after Danny at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and I do casual Fridays now and then chill Saturdays. So this is the last day of the week that I talk about politics, and from here forward, it's all about fun. Thank you to my panel again. And as always, peace, love, and granola. Talk to you
wait,
soon.
Yoda?
I'm going to do my best to